Alright guys, so the next thing we'll do is we'll remove this this tensioner. This is the camshaft tensioner. We'll remove that. I said the camshaft. The cam chain tensioner. Hello? What's good, my guy?
What's that to my guy, man?
Chilling, man. Alright guys, now that we have that tensioner out, this is that tensioner here with those 8mm bolts. Next thing we're going to remove is this timing, this camshaft chain guide. And to remove that, you got a 10mm bolt here. And that should come out, and that guide should just fall out. And I think there's some kind of sleeve and a washer, so let's just make sure we put that washer and that sleeve back where it's supposed to go. And that's that. All right guys, so now that we got that that timing chain guide, which is here, and there's a sleeve in the middle, make sure you keep that. As well as there's a washer that goes on the back there, so make sure you keep up with those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this cam shaft off. And the reason we got to take the cam shaft off, oh, we got enough play to remove that chain, but I don't think we'll have enough play to put it back on once we get the new one on. So to remove that cam, 10mm bolt at the top. There. 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 And that cam should just come up with that tray. And that's the cam. And this is the cam chain. We could just drop that. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is remove this, I think they call it the jug, but it's basically the piece that holds the piston, which is the cylinder. I think they're all 10mm as well. So we just go around removing all of those. One there, one there, one there, one there. I think that's all of them. Let me go around and check. That could be wrong. All right, I kind of got the head halfway off. Just had to keep hitting it with a rubber mallet. And be mindful where you hit it, because this is aluminum and it could crack. And I had already pulled it off and forgot that I didn't make the video, and my piston went back down, so we're not at top dead center anymore. But it's okay, I'll get it back to top dead center. And I'm looking in this cylinder. It doesn't look the best, and I might go and get me a hone and hone it out a little bit, because I see some grooves in it. But that's the cylinder. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with it afterwards. All right guys, so I went and pulled the inspection, poured out again, set it back to top dead center, and looking at this piston, I don't see any marks or grooves or anything on the piston. I went and got a rag, and I'm gonna just stuff this rag down in the cylinder, just to prevent any trash. I mean, we won't probably be able to stop everything, but let's at least try to prevent things from dropping down in that engine. So looking at this cylinder, the piston. The piston doesn't look scarred up or anything. The piston actually looks pretty good. So I think piston wise we should be fine. And guys, at least I'm kind of excited because at least I know that my piston I shouldn't have had any piston slap. And the reason that I say I shouldn't have had any piston slap was because, as you can see, I'm pushing up and down and I don't have any play from my connector rod. If I had play up and down, if you could hear like up and down movement like this, and what I'm doing now is rocking it side to side. Of course we're gonna move side to side because the bushings in the wrist pin here, which is allowing this to move side to side. But up and down is where you're gonna get all the piston slap noise from. And I'm pushing up and down and I don't hear any wobble. I don't feel any give and any wobble. So our connector rod and bearing and everything is fine. So we're good there. So that's exciting to me. And if the reason that I pulled his head off was just to check and make sure I didn't have any play up and down. Otherwise I wouldn't have pulled the head off. But I wanted to verify that before I put this engine all the way back together, that it was just these chains making that clack 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 noise and not piston slap. And I don't know how good my camera pick it up, but these pistons look pretty good. I see a little bit of scarring, but it looks pretty good for the most part. So that's one less thing that I have to worry about. And I feel a little better, like I said, that I don't have any up and down motion. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think side to side here is a problem. Now, if I had side to side down at the crankshaft where the connector rod goes to the crankshaft, then we would need to replace that crankshaft. But I don't feel, I'm holding it down here at the bottom as well where the connector rod is, and I don't really have side to side. It's a little, but it's not like significant. So the next thing you'll probably see is me doing a time lapse cleaning all this gasket material off, cleaning the head off, honing the head, and that'll be a quick time lapse. I won't bore you guys with that. I'll clean the top of the piston. All right guys, so I do have a gasket to put on here, but I just put that black gasket maker on it just for safety precautions. If you want to look down in the engine, that's down in the engine. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks pretty clean. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this gasket maker on the cylinder itself, mating surface. Then I'll put the actual gasket, which I have here. And I do have a Honda gasket, so I'll put that on, and we'll slap the cylinder back on, put the piston back through the cylinder, and we should be good to go with. All right guys, so we're gonna open up this gasket. And it looks like this gasket goes just like this. So we'll slide it. Slide the piston in the middle. All right, we get the piston, the cylinder head, and slide it on these studs. And we try to hold this piston and push these rings in so that we can slide it in the inside of the cylinder. Alright, and we'll slide it on down. Alright. And you'll know we had that engine at top dead center because it lines up with this case at top dead center. So we'll go ahead and put the bolts back in it. And you got a bolt here. And for torque specs, I'm not going to tell you any torque specs, but I'm going to just put these bolts in for now, and then I'll come back and torque them in later. I just want to get it assembled. So I'm just going to run these down. Oh, I was about to make a mistake. I like to start my bolts by hand. Then I'll run them down with my little impact. And as you can hear, I'm not hammering down on these. I'm just snugging it in. Alright. And that's all the bolts that go there. Alright. So what we can do now is prep the cam shaft and prep the top of the cylinder head here so that we can start putting the camshaft back on. And once we put the cam on, we can put the new chain on. So first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and replace all of the oil pump chain. All right, go guys. So here I have a Honda, a new Honda oil pump chain here. I have, this is not a Honda chain here, but I have the new tensioner and a new camshaft chain, as well as a new oil pump pulley, sprocket. I said pulley, sprocket. So the next thing we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and replace these chains. Alright, so this is the oil pump chain and this will be the camshaft chain. So to remove that, what we'll do is we'll get a 10mm and we'll come here to the sprocket. That's not good.